Red Sox organization.
To all the members of the World Champions of Baseball.
Dear Boston Red Sox,
Thank you so incredibly much for giving hope to so many.
Thank you so much for finally bringing a World Series championship to Boston.
thank you to everyone, from Mr. Henry, Mr. Warner, Mr. Lucchino, Theo Epstein, and Terry Francona.
You are simply incredible.
I also want to thank every player on the team.
Thank you for giving hope to so many and for being the man of bottom that you are.
You have no idea how many people you have made happy.
I've been a monstrous fan of the Red Sox since 1963, and I've seen many ups and downs.
And boy, we all needed you.
And this is the greatest thrill of my baseball watching life.
It's a dream come true now that the Red Sox have won the World Series in 2004.
Thanks again, and God bless.
The Red Sox Nation, you are very welcome.
You're welcome.
You're very welcome.
If you're a Red Sox fan, there comes a time where you're bummed out because this is like one more year that you're not in it. If you're ahead by 14 games, you got a pit in your stomach because how are they going to blow it?
Wherever you are, people laugh and say 1918. You get very tired of that. That gets very old and you have to smile about it. Oh yeah, like you never heard that before. It's like, oh yeah, that's a new one.
There's a history of crushing disappointments. This isn't the girl that just never liked you and never called you. This is the girl that you go to the altar with every year, and then she changes her mind on wedding day.
People would always ask me, what are you going to do when they win? And I was never able to understand that question or really give an answer to it because I just couldn't imagine it happening.
I knew they were going to lose. I don't know why. I just knew it. I felt it. Could feel it slipping away. I even called my nephew. I said, Tommy, protect your heart. He said, they're gonna win. I said, Tommy, protect your heart.
After Aaron Boone hit the home run, I went to bed that night, and I had a dream that the Red Sox scored 5 runs in the top of the 12th. But even in my dream, I was like, oh yeah, but that doesn't matter.
And the curse lives.
Those things aren't week-long inconveniences that go away. They stay with all the Red Sox fans for their whole lives.
For the fans in New England, more heartbreak.
Am I superstitious? The answer is yes. Did I have a sense that maybe there was a curse? Sure, but I also believed we'd beat it.
Drive to deep right center, back by the triangle. Nixon on the go near the bullpen. It's gone. And the Yankees lead it 19-8.
We get pounded by New York. It made me so angry. I really was like, that's it. I'm not rooting for these guys anymore. I'm not watching this game. I don't want anything to do with this. It's just miserable.
It was as if they had been crushed and just taught a lesson and rubbed your nose in it a little bit. No hope.
Now the Red Sox are going to have to come up with a rally that would go down as the best in history.
After Game 3, I don't care who you are as a Sox fan. There was no coming back from that. There's just no coming back from it. I don't care how good your faith is. My faith has never wavered in this team, and I thought we were done.
Then rolls around Game 4. People were pretty much at the end of their emotional tether. The thing was, though, they seemed kind of loose.
I mean, we're down 0-3, but you know what? You cannot count the Sox out, because if there's a group of idiots that can do it, it's us.
They literally had nothing to lose. They wanted to win a game to prove that the 19-8 game was an aberration and that they were a better team than that.
All I'm saying,
Man.
what's embarrassing?
You guys are better than this.
Well, I mean, you know, it happens.
You're
Baseball.
better than this.
A guy said, what do you think? What do you think of the Red Sox chances? And I said, well, they just have to win one game, the game they're playing.
But let me tell you, don't let us win today.
That had never been done. A team had never come back from that deficit in postseason.
Don't let us win this game tonight. Then they get Petey, and then they get Shield Game 6. In Game 7, anything happens.
When they were down 3-0 in the Yankee series this year, I had a funny feeling because it would have been the perfect comeback.
We'll be all right. We just don't make it easy on ourselves.
We were down 4-3. Mariano came on. And it was just like it always is. Lose by a run, now we get swept, it's humiliating. We've seen that show before, but not this year. Kevin Millar gets walked.
Dave Roberts is going to come in for Boston. He can run.
Everybody in baseball knows that Dave Roberts is going to try to steal second base.
And the minute he slid into second base safe, it changed everything. That single moment changed history for Boston Red Sox fans.
Then Mariano Rivera gave up a hit up the middle. Dave Roberts came around to score.
And the game is tied. The Red Sox tie it in the bottom of the ninth.
12th inning. David Ortiz gets up there, inside out at the ball. Red Sox win.
And the Boston Red Sox will live to play another day.
He was pumping his fist in the air as if, okay, now this is the turning point.
And then they just caught fire.
Swing and a miss, he struck him out. That drops down for a hit, and the Red Sox win it.
This has been a courageous performance by Curt Schilling.
That ball is gone. It is a grand slam, and the Red Sox have blown it open early.
And it's just over. We didn't even need any last-minute heroics or drama or anything. They just kind of ran him out of the building.
1-0 pitch. Swinging a ground ball to second base. Pokey Reese has it. He throws to first, and the Red Sox have won the American League pennant.
New York, your season's over. Go home. Home, New York. Stay. Sit. Down. Home.
To come back 3-0 to the New York Yankees, it humiliated them after years and years of them humiliating us. And when St. Louis was playing in the playoffs, I wanted them to win because they beat us in '67, they beat us in '46. We wanted to beat the people who beat us, the Yankees and St. Louis.
The Red Sox are within one out of their first World Championship since 1918.
Gabe Kapler went in to play right field, number 19. He went over to talk to Johnny Damon, who's number 18, and for a moment in time, 1918 was standing out in the middle of center field. The guy who was at bat was number 3, which is Babe Ruth's old number. And for that split second, I thought, oh no, St. Louis is going to come back and win 4 in a row.
Folk to the set. The 1-0 pitch. Here it is.
He hit a soft ground ball back to him. Folks so nervous, he almost kind of drops the ball. And he's about to throw it, and then instead he runs a few more paces over to make a closer throw.
Ground ball stabbed by Folk. He has it. He underhands to first, and the Boston Red Sox are the world champions. For the first time in 86 years, the Red Sox have won baseball's world championship. Can you believe it?
The Red Sox are World Series champions. My God, I never thought I'd see the day.
Boston Red Sox are World Series champions, and every Yankee fan, whether I know you or not, can kiss my ass.
The Boston Red Sox are world champions.
Now I can die happy.
Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today for the funeral of the dreaded Red Sox curse. Year after year, after year, after year, after year. For 86 years, the Bambino spell was cast upon us. But on October 27th, 2004, at 11:40 p.m., the curse was finally laid to rest. Red Sox Nation, you may now rejoice. Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
I never gave much thought to the curse unless somebody brought it up, and I always said I don't believe it.
The curse is gone. The curse is gone. 1918's dead. The curse is gone.
If that was what people wanted to believe, okay, but I am glad that it's over with. Now they know that Daddy did not put a curse on them, and I do not think he would begrudge the Red Sox their win after 86 years either.
The curse is gone. The curse is gone. 1918's dead. The curse is gone.
Hi guys, my name is Gary Wilson. I'm from Cape Cod, Massachusetts, and I've been a lifelong Red Sox fan. In my case, that means about 55 years. I've got my shirt that says, "Now I can die in peace." I know I can go to heaven saying the Red Sox finally won one.
Listen, you got a 70-year-old duffer here. I never thought this was going to happen. But boy, last night, after that last out, I just sat there and I felt good. I'm at peace with myself.
There had been some concerns about a spike in the obituaries. You know, if people would just decide, okay, they won now, there's no reason to continue living, I've seen it, I can go now.
My grandmother, who was 90 years old, waited 90 years to see the Red Sox win the World Series, and then she passed away this year, so that was for her. For me, that was for her.
I don't think the word sports captures what the Red Sox have meant to generations of Bostonians. They would look at you and say, it's not just a game.
It has been 86 years. Generations have come and gone.
My father was a huge Red Sox fan. He always wanted to see the Red Sox pull it off.
I'll tell you, when they won the World Series, we thought of him right away, and we wanted to bring these things up to his grave.
We look at it as if he probably had one of the best seats in the house.
And for the first time since 1918, the Boston Red Sox are champions of baseball.
When the Red Sox won the World Series, the world was transformed for Red Sox fans.
The sun seems a little shinier, the sky's a little bit bluer.
Now we realize that if there was a curse, it's been broken, or if there wasn't a curse, we just sucked, you know?
I founded the Miserable Red Sox Fan Forum about 10 years ago, where fans could show up and vent.
The Red Sox were like a mean guy with a friendly dog. They'd always be going, here it is, here it is, here it is. Can't have it.
I cried for the heartache I felt in 67, 75.
67, I was there, 72.
67, 75.
78, and then 86.
99, 2001.
I actually had just reached the point where I was so happy they put seats on the Green Monster that was my World Series championship right there.
Given decades of miserable losses, it's amazing that in 10 minutes,
a weight was instantly lifted from my shoulders forever.
The self-image of Red Sox fans just turned on a dime.
The misery is over. After sweeping the St. Louis Cardinals, I had to change the name of the site, so it's now the Triumphant Red Sox Fan Forum.
No seventh game failure this time. They can never speak of a curse again.
I feel as though I've earned the right to take the win personally because I took the losses personal.
I feel like it belongs to me because I've been there, I've been a fan since I was 7 years old. That's 51 years ago.
This is Julia Elizabeth Chase, who was born October 28th at 2:55 a.m., just a few short hours after the Red Sox won the World Series. She's one of the first babies born out from under the curse. It's a great feeling that she'll never know about that.
This could very well be the beginning of a new golden age for the Boston Red Sox.
People said, you know, it's going to be hard for you because your identity has totally changed. But, like, the identity of losers is a great identity to give up. You know, it's not like this is going to be hard to be winners for once.
There is a swagger about me now, swagger that Yankee fans have had for years and years. Now it's my turn and every other Red Sox fan.
Now, I mean, they could come out and just play with, you know, 2 guys for the whole season, lose every game, I wouldn't care, because that championship flag is going to be blowing in the wind.
Red Sox fans really enjoying this moment. What a surreal sight this has to be for all the Boston fans watching as the trophy gets lifted high into the air.
It didn't really sink in until I saw this thing. And this, I mean, look at this. It's unbelievable.
Fans, please join the Patriots in congratulating the World Series champion.
I didn't think 68,000 people could make more noise for something like this than I've heard it make at a game. It was just an amazing moment.
Of course, every year there's a World Series trophy, but there has been something about the story of the 2004 Red Sox that have touched so many people. The trophy went to Walter Reed Hospital, and the connection that the soldiers had with it was extraordinarily moving.
Y'all know how to give me a heart attack.
That trophy has traveled more miles than any other trophy I've ever seen it. It's amazing. Red Sox commitment to bring it to all the season towns of New England.
People treat it as if it's like the Holy Grail. It's like King Arthur's sword. I've never seen anything like it.
Anytime we think that it may not necessarily have the luster that it, say, had right after the championship, all you have to do is look and see an elementary school looking at it, or to look at a senior center. I don't know that it'll ever get old.
The Red Sox have done it. They've pulled off the miracle.
I think that because of the spirit of the team, I think it was a story that actually transcended sports.
Of course. Nobody feels like they've gotten the breaks. Nobody feels like it's really worked for them exactly the way they wanted to. When the Red Sox won the World Series, it felt like maybe something good can happen. The impossible thing that I don't think that can happen, maybe it can.
My 2 goals in my life, me walking the Boston Red Sox from the World Series. One of my goals is reached. Second goal will be reached. I promise you that.
This is Christmas at Fenway, and it's our first opportunity to get packs of Red Sox tickets for the year. It's the first time tickets have been on sale for the year. People have been standing in line since Wednesday night.
I need 1 package with 1 ticket for each thing.
Tickets! It's been a long day. I've been here since 6 this morning, and I think the Sox have done a good job of trying to keep us entertained.
He's the most courageous pitcher in Red Sox history. Ladies and gentlemen, 2004 World Champion pitcher,
I think everything about Kurt Schilling's awesome. He's perfect.
You are one of my biggest fans. You are my idol. I followed you.
I am one of your biggest fans.
I'm one of your biggest fans.
Thank you.
I'm sorry.
I've never seen a guy come here with such promise and bring such hope and fulfill all the promise.
Who was your favorite team to play against?
Who was my favorite team to play against or to beat?
To beat.
There's not much he can do to fall out of favor with the people of Red Sox Nation.
His respect for the fans and the fans' respect for him, there's just a feeling there.
On behalf of all us older fans, you just cannot imagine how much this has meant to us. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
He's a class act, and we're lucky to have him here in Boston.
With Christmas at Fenway, you got all the people over there getting their tickets, and they come right over here and start shopping for Christmas. You all set now? Yeah. All right, it's gonna be 60.
I've been here close to 60 years. There were times at this time of the year, not even a soul used to come to the store. But all of a sudden, things have changed.
The most wanted gift this year is something that celebrates the World Series. Just kind of a little bit of heaven here in Boston the last few weeks.
Johnny Damon, 2004 World Series edition jersey. Merry Christmas. My little brother, Mike.
This has been the best thing in licensing since Michael Jordan. Anybody in the sports business knows that they had a banner year in '04, and they thank the Red Sox for it.
Thank you so much for all you've done for the team.
Thank you very much.
It's just incredible. We've had 3 days of big crowds, spending big dollars on anything Red Sox, and everybody wants to meet the World Series heroes.
I was in a bar in Atlantic City. I was the only Red Sox fan down there when they stole that base, and I was screaming and yelling.
Hey, God bless you.
I was going nuts, so.
Dave Roberts probably can't buy a meal at a restaurant in Massachusetts, probably for the rest of his life because of that one play.
It's definitely been a lot easier to get a reservation, and I'm not paying for as many meals as I thought I'd be paying for around here. So for everyone to know me 50 years from now as the guy who stole that base, I'll take it.
You appreciate the fact that this may never happen again. It may happen every year for all you know, but at the same time, it might not happen again. You can certainly understand guys wanting to take advantage of it, make the most of it.
This is how we do it when you get a ring.
When you talk about the Red Sox winning a world championship, not to mention beating the Yankees, it opened up a lot of dialogue on Madison Avenue.
I came in after the World Series and had about 1,500 voicemails and emails, people who couldn't wait to get the Red Sox on the cover of their magazine or on TV.
We're going to need a few more cutoff, man. Let's go.
So many of them, have been very popular. Schilling has just been amazing.
He's one of the most fascinating people, according to Barbara Walters.
Curt Schilling, the player who limped to the mound and rewrote history.
I thought that was really cool. I think he went in with the attitude and telling her, you're not going to make me cry.
What guts it took. I mean, you were a great hero.
I'm very uncomfortable with that word, hero, because I don't think it applies.
I love seeing them make those appearances because they're all at ease guys and they're all comfortable on TV.
We're going to Disney World! Yeah!
Johnny Damon was everywhere.
There's no question Johnny Damon's a rock star.
I find the fascination with Johnny Damon a little difficult to understand. My girlfriend says, of course you find it difficult to understand.
How was the big parade Saturday up in Boston?
A few guys got hit by a few things, but I got hit by a panty.
Whoa, is that right?
Oh, absolutely.
I know the kind of damage that can do to your head.
Absolutely.
I guess Johnny Damon is like, they marketed him as like the sex symbol.
His whole thing about his hair and his beard, I mean, who would have thought that would have been a great story all year?
I opened up People magazine, I saw him laying there. Who votes for those people? I got snubbed.
Johnny Damon was on Saturday Night Live next to Seth Meyers.
He's a fun guy who I think gives off a vibe of like being really positive, and I think people like that.
What do you think? Yeah, let's get out of here, Seth. Whatever you say, best friend Johnny Damon.
Johnny, I've been saying all along, needs to get to spring training just so he can slow down and catch his breath a little bit.
It's tiring, but worth it. We have the look that can sell, so that's a good thing that this Red Sox team has.
It wasn't just New England, it wasn't just America. They were a global story. That's why there's so many books and videos and products out there about it.
I'm a junkie, I'm a baseball junkie, and little by little, the book took over my life.
They won the World Series. God bless them all.
And we had a #1 bestseller, so everybody goes home happy.
They've spilled into, obviously, literature and film.
Lindsay, will you go to opening day with me?
Yes.
Fever Pitch is it's a love triangle. Guy, girl, Boston Red Sox.
It's only a game.
What did you just say?
Start moving towards the door.
The original ending was that, of course, they would lose, as they have every year.
When they won the World Series, I was like, oh my God, it sort of changes everything. We had to do some rewriting and shoot in a couple of extra days, but it was a good problem. It sort of made for a real happy ending.
The Pedro I'll remember is the Pedro throwing up goose eggs against the Cardinals in the World Series.
He is absolutely dealing right now.
Pedro in '99 and the Pedro in 2017 strikeout games in Baltimore where the Orioles fans stood up to applaud him because he was just that good.
What a tribute this is.
You go back and you look at his numbers, and He's one of the greatest pitchers in the history of baseball. He is the greatest pitcher in the history of the Red Sox. And that's how I'll always remember him. I'm not going to remember him for his clubhouse antics or showing up late to spring training. I'm going to remember those times where he lifted 36,000 people on their feet at Fenway and just made them cheer so hard that your hands were sore afterwards.
Come to daddy.
Is Pedro having a change of heart?
It is all but official. Well, now we know.
Pitching ace Pedro Martinez could be swapping Boston for the Big Apple.
The Red Sox had the parameters all set for a deal on Saturday night. Next thing they hear, it is all but done. Pedro is going to become a member of the New York Mets.
Good luck to the Mets, and Pedro, turn out the lights when you leave.
I'm very thankful and very grateful to be part of this new organization.
Hey, Pedro, you got hit in the head with a baseball during the parade? Now I wish it was something heavier, like your wallet.
Boston wouldn't pull the trigger. It is too bad I couldn't work it out.
He is a phony and a punk.
But even though I'm here in New York, I have all the love and respect for the people in Boston.
I'll have to use that with my wife. Yeah, honey, my heart's going to stay with you, but I'm going to be sleeping with a babysitter.
MRI, no. Major press conference, C. Fasten your seatbelts, New York. You are now entering the PD zone.
End of message.
You have to always be prepared to move on. You can't get tied too much to any one player.
He was definitely going downhill.
I think we'll be fine without him.
It was selfish as hell.
The second you say we have to retain this player is the second you know you're in trouble.
I was devastated when it first happened.
For the money, you can't blame him.
It's so selfish.
That's his life. We're still here.
In the end, the best thing for him and his family was to get 4 guaranteed years with the New York Mets, and the best thing for us was to move on, take that money, and spread it around a little bit.
So be it.
Breaking news. Jason Varitek has re-signed with the Boston Red Sox, agreeing to a 4-year, $40 million contract.
Get out your number 33 jerseys. They're good for another half a decade.
We made it our priority internally to re-sign Varitek.
That was the most important signing you could have.
Varitek really embodies everything we want our players to be. He's represented by Scott, who we have a lot of respect for. Scott's clients also always tend to get really good deals for the player.
Most powerful agent in Major League Baseball.
I feel Jason Varitek should never be anything other than a Boston Red Sox. And he goes, without Jason Varitek, our team is in trouble.
Here we go.
That's how our negotiation began. And I think we reached a very fair result.
Absolutely, it really worked out well.
I compliment Theo a lot on that.
Theo's a rock star.
The motto right now is, in Theo we trust.
We trust the team. We trust Theo will make the right decisions.
He's like the golden boy of Boston.
He comes in, he's just like young, energetic, workaholic.
You win a World Series, you win the first one in 86 years, you get some rope, and he's got plenty of rope.
I was inclined to resent him, he's like young, good-looking guy.
He's just about the hottest thing to hit Boston. Nice Jewish boy. Good-looking man. I mean, what else can you ask for a annual manager?
Even winning a World Series, I still can't get a date.
Who's this guy? I mean, you might as well make me the GM.
Middle sick.
Theo's the god of New England. He delivered a World Series championship in his second year at the age of 30. Yeah! Where do you go from there?
There's a great event every January called the Hot Stove Cool Music that benefits the Jimmy Fund, and I'm lucky enough to get to play in it. The winter is a good time to catch up on charitable events. It's also a good time to play loud music, which is something I like to do.
His guitar playing adds to his overall sex appeal.
I'm really not that good a guitar player, but I get to play with some people who really know what they're doing.
Let's hear it for World Series champion Boston Royal!
Bronson did a good job. He had the stage presence of a seasoned pro.
I just have fun with it. It's kind of like a hobby. I don't take it too serious.
This baseball, dude, you're gonna go for it, man. I can get him a deal, I think. I swear.
My agent gave me a call and said, some guys that might be interested in doing an album.
Well, we're excited about Bronson's record. From a marketing standpoint, it's kind of cool
when the ball player is a musician also.
I was nervous about coming in and putting my vocals down, you know. I didn't know if I'd be up to the challenge, but I think it sounds beautiful.
Well, I love that dirty water. Oh, Boston, you're my home.
Yeah, what do you think about that? Bernie Williams made a record last year. He sold 220,000 copies a day. I never buy anything by a Yankee.
We have 3 million people at a parade. There's going to be 3 million at least sold.
They got dirty water.
Well, I love that dirty water. Oh, Boston, you're my home.
Another day, another parade in Boston as thousands cheer the Patriots.
This parade, I guess, was like 750,000, but Red Sox parade was like 3.5 million.
When the Patriots won the Super Bowl, it was kind of like, so what? But when the Red Sox won everything, we were tongue-tied with joy. We had no language to celebrate.
I watched the entire Red Sox parade like it was a documentary. Yeah, the Patriots thing I didn't even watch. Didn't have the same meaning.
Patriots parade was incredible, but the Red Sox parade was breathtaking.
They're both special events, but the Red Sox waited over 80 years for it. It was huge. People were on top of the buildings, hanging out of trees.
86 years, I mean, so many generations get to see that compared to the Patriots.
It was an experience of a lifetime.
All my life, I wanted the Red Sox to win the World Series. And now, the bastards have done it. And I feel like, I don't know, like my pilot light went out.
One of the things psychologists know is that there is an impact bias in our predictions of how we're going to feel in the future. People expect to be ecstatic when their team wins, and they expect the ecstasy to go on and on and on. But surely enough, sooner rather than later, they return to their normal levels of happiness.
Oh, he's full of crap. He has no idea what he's talking about. Guys like David Ortiz talk about people coming up to them during the off-season with tears in their eyes saying, you did it.
The next day was a day of great joy. It's the day after that and the Monday following that were probably not quite as delicious as most Red Sox fans thought.
It was just great. Like, that continued for weeks.
I still can't believe that we're the champions. I just can't believe it.
Red Sox fans aren't going to be thinking about this victory every minute, every hour, every day.
It actually sinks in a little bit more every single day, because every day you hear a different story from somebody, or you open your mail and you hear someone's tale that you haven't heard before. It's remarkable.
It's great. We're rejoicing. But those feelings are going to fade more quickly than most people predicted they would.
There isn't a day that goes by where I don't think Red Sox are the world champions.
The Red Sox are 1 out away from winning it all.
Hope to the set. A 1-0 pitch. Here it is.
To full. Red Sox fans have longed to hear it. The Boston Red Sox are world champions.
No, it never gets old. I'm actually just now getting to where I can enjoy, be able to relax and look back and kind of reflect on it. After I saw the ball coming back at me and I knew I was going to catch it, everything after that kind of turned to a blur. Doug got over the bag, so gave him a little underhand lob, and when he caught it, it was just like, oh my God, we did it. No one can ever take that away from us now.
The final out ball from the World Series arrived back at Fenway Park this afternoon. Two Brinks carefully carried the ball into the park.
On behalf of the Red Sox and all the people in Red Sox Nation, thank you for bringing this back to Fenway Park and to the Red Sox Hall of Fame.
After the last out of the last game in St. Louis, I don't think anybody ever really stopped and said, hey, where's that baseball? Till Dan Shaughnessy asked the question.
I asked the Red Sox publicist to place a call to Doug. So I said, what about the ball? Do you have the ball? And he was totally forthcoming. Sure, I've got the ball. And it wasn't until I was on deadline that Larry Lucchino finally called me the night before the story ran and said, well, we want the ball back.
It should be on display immediately, not buried in a safety deposit box.
Tried to reach Doug again that night. He never got back to me. The story ran with Doug saying it's my ball and Larry saying we were going to ask for it back. And it became this ridiculously huge story.
He says it's his. The Red Sox says, that ball belongs to us. Who's going to win this battle?
The biggest misconception, though, was that we argued over it.
It's an important part of Red Sox history, and it should be a ball that is honored and shared.
Most of the guys I talked to on the team would say they would have done exactly the same thing I did.
I would prefer to have the ball back, but, you know, I'm not going to go beat him up over it.
I told McCavish that half the balls Ortiz and myself for letting him play defense, so he needs to send it to us.
I would have probably kept the ball, and then once people started bugging me about it, I might have eaten it, you know, and videotaped myself, and then sent the video out and said, guess what?
I'd rather focus on the fact that we now have the ball here for display. I'm very happy to have it back here at Fenway Park.
And to this day, I'm not sure if it's been resolved. Doug's lending him the ball for the year. He's been traded.
That was a whole strange thing, but yeah, I thank Dan Shaughnessy for stirring it up a little bit.
Kevin Millar thanked me for writing the ball story. He thought that kind of cleared first base for him, which I don't think was true.
I did this as a tribute to the Sox, but also a tribute to my grandfather. My grandfather died in '99. He never got to see the World Series victory. I came in here today. My son's a pitcher, and I bought him a Curt Schilling jersey. Yeah, that's who he looks up to because of the ALCS.
Curt Schilling risking serious injury to an already badly injured right ankle.
This has been a courageous performance by Curt Schilling.
Curt Schilling gets some kind of last-minute attach your ligament to the skin surgery.
The small tendon that keeps the tube in place underneath the ankle bone is gone.
I mean, I don't know what kind of a rigmarole it was.
Right out of the New England Journal of Medicine.
Pretty ballsy when you think of the fact that he came out to play and that he had blood on the sock.
Like a scene from The Natural.
If you saw it in a movie, you just wouldn't believe it. My man comes in there and dominates. Dominates.
50 years from now, we will think of that bloody sock. You'll think of just the incredible clutch performances of Curt Schilling.
As soon as his season is over, he needs surgery.
It has to heal. I don't want to take the chance of missing any more time than I'm already might possibly miss. But my body's going to kind of dictate when it all happens.
This guy had major ankle surgery, and there's no player in baseball that we trust to work harder to get back as soon as possible as Curt Schilling.
I want you just gliding those tendons, working those joints a little bit. But this is the first day you've done this. It's been 8 weeks.
It's a bad foot. In the grand scheme of things, it's not really that big of a deal. Given what took place for this to happen, I'd do it all over again. Oh, that was painful.
I knew once he stepped in here, we were going to have to hold him down because he's feeling good. He wants to go the extra mile, and they've kind of got the chains on him, making sure that he doesn't hurt himself. He feels like he needs to step it up, too. And now that Randy's gone to the Yankees.
Welcome to Sports Center. Big unit prepares to dominate the Big Apple.
A game of take your pick, and let's start with a one-on-one matchup. Curt Schilling or Randy Johnson?
Turn that TV off next time.
For me, it's the ultimate challenge.
Who would you rather have as your starter, Randy Johnson or Curt Schilling?
It's like asking me who I'd rather go out with more, Halle Berry or Eva Longoria. But for sake of argument, I'll take Schilling.
There you go. Good.
You know, I know our schedule calls for the Yankees on opening day, and it looks like Randy Johnson's going to be pitching for them. So, if I can, I would love to be able to be on the mound that day.
Hey, Doc. I'm good. Well, doing really well doesn't translate to pitching opening day yet.
This has been a little bit longer process than I had hoped it would be up to this point. Right now, the calendar is moving a lot faster than I expected it to be. But as much as I want to be out there opening day, the bottom line is to get back to the World Series and win it.
This is Curt Schilling's line. I'm stealing it from him. Being on a World Series caliber team always increases your value. This is gonna sound like such bullshit, but I'll give it to you. I'll give it to you the way it is. I've always wanted to do it. You gotta pack up and get going. Gotta put in the work. Suits? Well, we need ties. I need ties now that I know I'm gonna have to wear a tie. I like being the foreign player. I'm excited about that. I'm not intimidated by it at all. Not exactly Sean Puffy Combs, but kind of close, I suppose. As much as there is loyalty, there is the necessity to pursue what's best for you and your family.
Somebody usually in Gabe's position, especially just coming off that World Series run, wouldn't necessarily choose Japan. Egotistically speaking, you would want to go back to Boston where you're going to be pampered and nurtured and put on a pedestal. You know, Japan has to be something really special to take us away from that.
Watashi no namae wa Gabe desu. Anata no namae wa nan desu ka?
We were going through some research, then Gabe's name popped up. We heard so much was his leadership quality, how to gel people together. It became the perfect fit.
Hajimemashite.
Hajimemashite. Yoroshiku. Super.
We struck a deal with him to keep him here, a 2-year deal. And he called us back a couple of days later and told us about his opportunity. And we were sad to see him leave, and I think we kind of have an understanding that when he comes back, we'd love to have him, and he'd love to play for the Red Sox again.
Well, man, best of luck to you. I'll miss all you guys. I love all you guys, and I'll be pulling hard for you. Take care.
What we really feel in New England is this huge wave of gratitude, this feeling of the monkey is off our back, we don't have to apologize anymore.
We're just more relaxed. We don't have to have that expectation anymore that we're going to get so disappointed, you know, at the end of the season.
I think you'll see a different sort of Red Sox fan. There's not going to be that same pessimism that you have about what's going to blow up in our faces this time.
You know what? They might win, they might lose. The whole year, they're going to be champions. And it's going to be a hell of a lot of fun to watch baseball.
Oh, my son of a...
Hit you?
Don't do that.
Did you?
No, it scared me.
The thing that's great about this year is it's not a question of whether or not this is our year or not. It's a question of how many in a row can the Red Sox potentially build a dynasty over the next several years.
That's the eternal thing about baseball. You win and you even break something as lasting as the curse and you feel great about it. But everybody's hoping to repeat. I mean, that's the eternal hope and maybe a little arrogance that goes with it all.
Let's do it. How was your honeymoon? You guys went over
Great,
there?
yeah. We went to Anguilla.
We'll be in good shape this year. Picked up a great shortstop. I think the Red Sox have a good team out there.
Good. One more time.
We have some great additions. I mean, we signed Edgar Renteria. We have David Wells, Matt Manti, Matt Clement. They're going to take us a long way. I'm excited about what they can do.
You've been to, I think it's 10 different stops, 8 different teams. Did you ever think you'd be wearing a Red Sox uniform?
Not in my wildest dreams. But, you know, I'm up for the challenge. You know, I'm happy to be in a Red Sox uniform.
I'm really excited about what he can do for our ball club. Everybody talks about his personality, maybe the quirkiness. The little that I've been around him so far, he's a pleasure.
Oh, next career. Thanks, Dad.
I've always been intrigued by photography.
Have a nice season.
Thank you.
I've been second-guessing these guys' moves, and these guys, this group proved himself right. So I'm going to sit back and see what happens. But I will miss Pedro a lot, and I'll miss Derek Lowe.
We have to thank you for last year, personally.
Thank you very much, Derek. It was hard at first leaving Boston. I haven't been there for a little over 7 years and just won a World Series. But I knew kind of with 2 months ago that the situation was going to be where I was going to leave, and so I tried to make the best out of it.
Everybody knew at the end of the 2004 season we weren't going to see a lot of these guys next year. And I think as time went on, you pretty much knew that Varitek was staying and the others were iffy.
It's been mixed emotions because, you know, there's no better place to play in baseball than Boston. The fans are very good to me and my family, and just to be a part of something that special last year and to leave that was tough.
As a general manager, as a whole baseball operation, we always have to act in the best interest of the club and try to put the best team on the field possible. You can never guarantee results, but you can guarantee effort and have good planning. That'll help us as we set out to win a world championship and compete for one in 2005.
Welcome, and welcome to the citizens of the Red Sox Nation. I am honored to welcome the world champs the mighty Boston Red Sox to the White House.
What was it like today to be out there with the president?
Truly an honor. My best thing today, personally, was watching Veritek get spooked by the president as he came around his left side and dropped it. George W. Bush.
It's great that the Red Sox won the World Series. It's what people wanted, and people are happy. The Red Sox are forever changed. The Red Sox, as we knew them, are no more. They are a team that's won a World Series. They're a great team. But the story is really over. It's a new story now, and it can be a better story.
How about the off-season? We're doing all kinds of crazy stuff, aren't we?
The off-season? What off-season?
You know what I like about Boston? I like the Boston Harbor when we go out.
Who's your daddy? How about Manny? Does he give you a lot of help out there on the Monster?
At times.
We get in the clubhouse, we're loose. I walk in, Johnny's doing a few naked pull-ups.
I love that dirty water. Oh, Boston, you're my home. Yeah, I love it. Woo! Well, I love that dirty water. I love that dirty water.